Hi, I'm Gina Ross. I'm the president and founder of the International Trauma Healing Institute, and I have a gift for you. In this 10 minutes video, I will show you how to release stress and trauma on the spot, anytime, anywhere. I'll help you balance your nervous system and regain control when you are too overwhelmed to process what's happening. It is something you can use for the rest of your life. In times of stress or threat, fear or anger, our body prepares to defend itself, and it releases lots of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones actually are able to give us a huge amount of energy in order to prepare our body to fight or flee. And what happens to our body is like our muscles are tensing up, our heart is beating fast, our breath is short and quick, and all of these changes that are happening. Now, if we're lucky and we're able to defend ourselves and fight or flee, all of this energy is just used up and the sensations just go away. But if we cannot fight or flee, those sensations remain caught in our body. We start feeling disoriented, upset, anxious, panicky, rageful, natural trauma reactions, but we need to let them go. Now the good news is that these feelings can be calmed and released on the spot. We use something called EmotionAid technique. And the tools of this technique helps us calm ourselves down, feel better, sleep better, function better. They also helps us develop what I call our emotional muscles. And these muscles helps us strengthen our resiliency, helps us fight cumulative stress, the accumulation of stress, and overcome panic when we're panicky. Now, I will outline 5 steps of releasing stress and trauma. In the first step, I'm going to show you 4 different ways of grounding yourself. If you are too overwhelmed or too stressed to be able to do the discharge process, you need to use one of those steps. And then I will show you the 4 steps in how to discharge stress and trauma and be able to return to normal. Now, step 1 is the grounding. And when you work on releasing tension and overwhelm, it's a good idea to check on the scale of stress. Where are you? From 1 to 10, 1 being the least and 10 being the most stressed, check your level right now. If it's 7 or above, then do the grounding exercises. If it's less, then you can go straight into the steps 2 to 5 that I'm going to show you after that. If it's difficult to put numbers on the scale, you can think just in terms of high, medium, and low stress. Practice the 4 exercises and then choose which one you like best. Exercise number 1, that tapping grounding or the butterfly hug. Cross your arms like you're hugging yourself and tap 25 times alternatively, and then take a deep breath and notice how you start calming down. If it's not enough, tap again 25 times and take another breath. And keep measuring your level of stress and repeat this process until you come down to a level 7. Grounding number 2, the counting grounding. Press your feet on the floor, sense the support of the ground, and send your roots into the ground. If you're sitting, sense how your seat is supporting you. And now look around you. Choose 10 different objects of the same color, or 10 different textures, like wood, plastic, glass, or 10 different shapes, like rectangle, circle, square, or even how many lights are there in the room. Anything that you can count around you. What we're really doing, we're activating the neocortex so that you can be able to overcome the overwhelm. Exercise number 3, the breath grounding. Put 1 hand on your chest, 1 hand on your stomach, and just track the breath with open or closed eyes. Take a minute or so until you feel more relaxed. Exercise number 4, the heart grounding. Now touch the tip of your finger slightly in the shape of a heart and put the tip of your tongue on your palate and track your breath. And connect to this a word that you like And later on, when you think of that word, you'll be able to bring that relaxation. You can use any of these grounding techniques to get yourself out of panic or overwhelm. Now, you're ready to learn how to discharge stress and trauma from your body. So step 2 is the discharge. And that's the most important thing in EmotionAid. We have 7 ways of discharging. What I call the organic breath, a deep diaphragmatic breath, spontaneous that comes up by itself. Slight trembling and shaking in our limbs, whether it's our arms and hands or legs and feet. Warm sweat, yawning, heat wave, gurgling in the stomach, and goosebumps. Any one of these is actually a sign that you're releasing the stress hormones from your body. And they happen on their own, autonomically, without our control. We just need to welcome them and give them all the time that they need. Now, maybe you can think of an upsetting or traumatic event and just notice the sensation that come up when you think about it. So you may feel your heart beating fast, your breath is getting short or quick, you have butterflies in the stomach or tensions in your jaw, in your shoulders or in your neck. These are normal stress reactions, but they need to be discharged. Now here's the thing, is that our body really knows exactly how to discharge. The key is to give the arousal in the smallest doses of activation. And the smallest dose of activation is just one sensation at a time. All we have to do is put attention on that sensation and notice it with curiosity, no analysis, no judgment. And here is the magic. Our body will automatically discharge the unpleasant sensation just with this neutral awareness, just putting that awareness on the sensation without judgment, one at a time. A key sentence that we use is notice the sensation and see what happens next. And the next that we're expecting is the discharge, and we give it all the time that it needs. And when you release, be probably a sense of expansion or calmness that happens. Step number 3, going over the event. So what we need to do now is keep noticing the sensations one at a time and helping them discharge. And again, the same thing, discharging just by paying attention, and the discharge will come up and the release will come up. Now, once again, you can rate your level of stress from 0 to 10. If you are at 1 or 2, you just process the whole event, discharge all your stress. Wonderful, excellent. But if you still feel unpleasant sensations when you're thinking about the event again, all you have to do is keep noticing those sensations and discharging them one at a time, waiting for the discharge and the release until you have digested the event, until you're over it. There's no more charge in your system. Step 4, working with thoughts and emotions. Now, if you have an unpleasant or negative thought, all you have to do is take it into the body. What that means is you notice what sensations come up when you think about that thought. You do the same thing with negative emotions. And then you take one sensation at a time and you discharge them. Do the same thing with any negative image or sound or smell or touch that comes up. Anything that comes up that is negative, just take them into the body and discharge them. Our body is like an amazing washing machine. Anything you put into it that's negative, unpleasant, or difficult, it will take care of it and bring it out clean. We can, like that, take care of our emotional difficulties. So step number 5, resources and strengthening our ability to heal. A resource is anything that makes us feel stronger or calmer. It can be friends, family, activities that we like, characteristics, personal abilities that we have, or even spiritual entities. They can be internal, like if I'm intelligent and if I'm strong, or they can be external, like my friends or my pets or whatever I'm doing. Now, it's a good idea to create an inventory of resources. Make a list of all the resources that you have and then ground them in the body. That strengthens your ability to cope. For example, if you choose a resource right now and ground it in the body, meaning Just notice what comes up as sensations in your body when you think about that resource. Maybe it's a smile that comes up, or an opening in your chest, or a sense of expansion. Enjoy it. Now notice that you have all the steps of the emotion technique that you need to release stress and trauma on the spot, anytime, anywhere, and you do not need anything else. Now, if you practice this process for a couple of weeks, you'll be able to have it at the ready, and you can use this process and discharge stress anytime you need. As you practice the tools of EmotionAid, you will know exactly where to start when you're feeling upset, whether you have to ground yourself and use any one of the 4 exercises, or whether you go straight into the discharge process. Remember, stress is contagious. Stress affects us and the people around us. It creates a chain reaction that amplifies fear, polarization, reactivity, and even violence. To prevent this when something traumatic happens, please use these tools first on yourself, and then you can help others. When you discharge and resource your nervous system, you're ready to do anything that you want. Whether organizing your surroundings, helping other people, solving conflicts, solving problems, connecting with people, truly anything that you want or need. Now let's review. You can go directly to the summary of the 5 steps whenever you need it. Right now, you're feeling anxious, panicky, upset, or angry. If you're feeling too overwhelmed, ground yourself instantly with one of the 3 grounding exercises from step 1. Cross your arms like you're hugging yourself and tap alternatively 25 times. And take a deep breath. You can use the other one. Press your feet on the ground and count 10 objects of the same color. Or 10 different textures. You can also put one hand over your chest and one over your stomach and follow the rhythm of your breath. To discharge, think of what's upsetting you and notice the constricted inner sensations that come up. Now choose only one sensation and focus on it with neutral awareness and see what happens. Notice the discharge that comes up, such as a deep breath, yawning, or trembling and shaking, and give that discharge all the time that it needs. Then discharge the other sensations one by one. Again, go over what's upsetting you, like in step 3, and discharge if there is still activation. Repeat this process until all activation is gone. Do step 4 if you have a negative thought or a difficult emotion that come up. Think of the thought or feel the feeling. Take it into the body. Notice the sensations that come up and discharge each sensation one at a time. Now that your anxiety or upset are gone, you can do step 5. Choose a resource and ground it in your body. And notice the pleasant sensations that come up. And enjoy them. To learn more about our programs and material, get in touch with us at the International Trauma Healing Institute, website www.traumainstitute.org, our contact information, info@traumainstitute.org. Our Israeli Institute is the Center for Healing Trauma, Stress, and Anxiety. Our website, www.traumahealing.org.il. Our contact@traumahealing.org.il.